Hi, welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both full-time professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. And we thank you for joining us today as you plan your New Jersey wedding. And we have a great guest today as well. So how are you
That's
today,
gonna be fun.
Celia?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
Just great.
And Dave, how are you? Dave's with us. How are you? David, I'm sorry. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, ladies.
Excellent. Excellent.
Beautiful day.
Oh
Yeah,
God, it is, right?
finally.
Oh. As I mentioned, we have David Kulczynski, the creative director and founder of Visionary Artists, which he does photography and cinema. Photography, really, I say this all the time. Photography is one of the most important things that you will arrange for your wedding because it really is the only tangible product that you will take away besides your license, and it will last you a lifetime. David's been photographing weddings for the past 25 years, starting his career shooting film, of course, but now he's firmly in the digital world. He is truly a storyteller, telling your love story portrayed through dazzling visuals. He's also the house photographer at the Art Factory, home of many of those dazzling visuals. So, David, we're very happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do, your approach. We love to
Sure,
hear about it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. Well, how can I say this? Basically, I'm a storyteller of your love story, from start to finish. I have multiple crews. I have cinematic video crews as well as photography crews, and I'm on, the crews as well. And I love what I do. It's not work. That's what's wonderful about what I do. Um, I did start out in film back in the 2.25 film era of Hasselblads, and basically, was trained with natural lighting and basically crossing the bridge to the digital world, which makes you a better photographer because you can instantly see your image and you can improve on your
Mhm.
images, which is an amazing concept. Um, you also become the darkroom as a photographer. Back with film, you prayed and hoped everything came out, and you had no idea what came out. In this day and age, it's, you put your pro flashcards in your camera, and obviously I do have backup in every camera. Some The higher end cameras have two slots for cards, so you have a backup as well as the main. And at the end of the night, everything's backed up into three hard drives.
That
And
backup's so important.
oh,
Oh
you know,
gosh, yes,
correct. One of my favorite lines is "You're only as good as your backup."
Yeah.
true.
Because it's not when it's going to happen. Excuse me, it's not if it's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So everything gets backed up onto SSD hard drives, which are amazing drives, and the prices have come down dramatically on those. So a little bit about that. As far as the Art Factory, it is just an unbelievable space to have your wedding. It's a little different, very, very unique place. It's literally 15 and 19 buildings that are connected. And the owners have put a lot of their time and passion into this space. It's very, very unique. It's located in Patterson. It's also on the block of the Great Falls, which
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know about. And we do go there on your wedding day. There are trolleys that will take us there from the Art Factory that are included,
Mm.
and
Oh,
the
I
bridal
didn't know that. That's
Oh,
great.
it's
What a
magnificent. It's
great
so
photo
beautiful.
super
op. Yeah.
super cool, amazing. And I start very early with my clients, getting ready. So it's two photographers. It's one with the bride, one with the groom. Most of our clients do the first look, which I highly recommend
Yeah,
because
we do
how
too.
how can you do hours of photography and use the multiple locations, especially at the Art Factory? You got to walk around a lot, and the backgrounds are magnificent. And to miss your cocktail hour, to do that, you're going to get literally 20% of what's offered there.
Hmm.
So we kind of make it very special for our bride and grooms. If they want it to be just the two of them, and just the photography crew, we use a long lens and kind of make it like we're not there. A lot of our clients will just have maybe the bridal party in the background watching the first look, and a lot of people, just so I explain it, the first look is when the bride sees the groom for the first time,
Hmm.
and we'll have the groom like face the window, and the bride will walk up to him and tap him on the shoulder, and they turn around, and it's just instant love, amazing photography. Great imagery at that point. And then we just work all the beautiful hot spots with the bridal party, and that could take probably a good hour to 2 hours, especially if we're going to go down to the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Um, Possibly then give the bride and groom a break and finish the family portraits. So literally, when they walk down that aisle, they are done. They can just
Yeah.
enjoy their wedding, party like a rock star. And we don't have to bother them. So we hate doing that because we feel like the bad guys, but we
Right.
know that
Yeah.
to fulfill their album, they got to have the story.
Yeah.
And you need the beautiful family portraits as well.
Right,
We're
right.
we're very big advocates of first looks because from our perspective, it just makes them so much more relaxed
Of
when they're coming
course.
down that. And it's not, oh well, I want them to see me the first time. It's like it's not going to be like, oh well, I saw you already, no big deal. It's a different context.
100%.
It's very exciting.
It's a magic moment because he's never seen her in her dress yet,
Yeah.
and he's never seen the dress most times. So, the grooms get very emotional. And, we shoot with long lenses and close up and far away. So, we get the emotions, and that's what it's all about.
I think it's much more relaxing and I think it shows on their faces. I really do.
I
Right.
agree. I agree. And I'm to the point where I just be really candid with my clients and say, I'm going to be really honest with you. You can do it scenario A and scenario B. And, I tell them, how are you going to walk around all the multiple beautiful spots at the art
Right.
factory, get some food? You're doing that. You just got married. Your emotions are crazy. And now everybody wants to see you and you're
Everybody
out.
wants to see you.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
And you're out, 500 feet away doing your photography.
right,
So they get
right.
it. I've spoken a lot of them. I've talked a lot of them out of it. And of course, if they want to do it, we
Mhm.
do it, and we make them happy either way.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
you
I
know,
think they understand too, it doesn't take anything away from walking down that
No.
aisle. It is still
Mm-mm.
emotional. And you
oh
talk
yes,
about time a lot and how valuable your experience at the art factory is, to know all the unique locations within the art factory and the falls around it. And we all
Mhm.
know that timeline is essential. So that your experience there is it's just fabulous. You know where to go, you know how long it's
thank
going
you.
to take and all of
Oh,
that. How many years did you say? How many years have you
I've been
been?
at the factory for probably going on 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just getting better and better.
Right.
uh the
Mhm.
props that they use, and they actually have in-house wood shop that they make their own props because they film movies there.
Right. Yeah.
So that was the whole startup, and then it just kept growing and growing. And
Yeah.
the owners, David and Donata Garcia, were the first bride and grooms to get married there.
Yes, I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
them telling me, and I don't think we had met with them a long time ago, and they were talking about that the wedding that first took place there, like it wasn't his. And I had just like discovered that like a couple of
yeah,
months ago that was his wedding.
it's a
But
great story. I'll leave that for them to tell.
yeah, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's having a photographer, and we say this all the time, having photographers, having vendors who are very familiar with your locations, especially if it's not like a hotel where you walk in, everything's there, it's always the same every single week. It
correct.
doesn't make it bad, it just makes it, more
It's
reliable,
it's so cookie cutter. It's
that's not
very
even the word
cookie.
I wanted. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just everything is always going to be the same. And that's,
yeah.
wonderful for some couples because it's very comforting. But,
Mhm.
I feel like you can get that same level of ease if you have somebody, if you've got a DJ who knows exactly where the things need to be set up for your ceremony. And there, I mean, your ceremony could be in one place, your cocktail hours entirely in another place altogether. You're
Yes,
getting ready rooms or someplace else.
yes.
If your vendors know what they're walking into and where, it just makes it so much more efficient.
It's a
It
huge
really does.
advantage, and
Yeah,
the bride and grooms definitely get a better product.
absolutely.
A hundred
Absolutely. It's so
percent,
much more calm. Yeah.
100%. The lighting in this art factory is unbelievable. The 15 to 20-foot windows in some of the rooms,
Hmm.
it's priceless. And I tell everybody, if you're thinking of it, just set up a tour.
Yeah.
It's complimentary. It's wonderful. You'll walk through the whole place with the owners. I do a lot of the tours as well. You'll get a little bite to eat. It's beautiful. It's a great day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, very different. I think having,
Yes.
having a person, having an artist that knows okay, I know exactly what my couple is like. By that time, you do. We all know our couples pretty well by the
Of
time that we're
course.
booking on that day. And I've had people do their first looks. God, my last people, I was there a couple weeks ago. They did their first look in what do they call it? Because it used to be called the light room. It's got all like the Edison bulbs hanging from the
Oh
ceiling. It's
yeah,
like
the engine room,
it's
unbelievable
like so
space.
cool. Totally
Yes.
different than having your pictures
Oh yeah,
outside,
yeah.
near
It
the falls and the greenery. Totally different.
yeah,
You've got almost every backdrop you could want there.
it's mind-boggling. It'll
It
make your
really is.
photography so interesting, and I know all the places.
Yeah.
And I layer in plenty of time. I even layer in an hour of being late on my
Yeah.
schedules,
Yeah.
because it's very common. We're dealing with people doing makeup and hair, and getting, 6 to 8, and the bridal party getting ready, and it's, we try to stay on time, but it happens, of course.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's fun. And so now what's like do you have an approach that you would say that how you work
Of
with people?
course, of course. I offer all my clients a complimentary engagement session, and
That's a
we
great idea.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of fun. They get all the imagery to set out their save the dates. And you get to know your clients, and I get to
Hmm.
know what they like and what they don't like. And we go to one or two of the hot spots at that point. And I make sure to go to the other ones on their wedding day. My approach is very documentary. A lot of my clients will tell me what they want, and by shooting and photographing for my experience of 25 to 30 years, I can kind of adapt to what they want.
Yeah.
I can give them light and bright. I can give them a little darker. I can give them moody. It all starts with a great image, and then from that point, the image can be manipulated in any basically in any direction what they want.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and we shoot with lights, no lights, reflectors, natural light, flash, the whole menu.
Yeah. One of my favorite pictures
Mhm.
on your Instagram, I'll tell our listeners, we will be posting a link to David's Instagram, which is visionary_artist. But I'll be posting a link so you can just click on the link and check out his photos, and you'll get to see, a lot of the art factory. But David, one of my favorites on your Instagram is a rainy day at the
Mm,
art factory
yes,
outside. The couple, he's holding the umbrella off to the side and their arms are
yes,
outstretched, and that's a
yeah.
gorgeous photo. Wow,
That
every bit of it
Thank
is
you.
gorgeous.
Thank you. That's a great story, and it sticks into my mind where the client showed up and they're like, "It's raining," and I'm like, "So what?" And
Yeah.
they're like, "Okay, I can't wait to see what you're going to do with us." And I have umbrellas in my office. They're clear and they're beautiful for this situation. And I'm like, "We're going outside." They looked at me like I had three heads. And by the end of the photo shoot, they signed up with me. They're like,
Yeah.
"We love your energy. We love your vision." And a lot of fun on that photo shoot. They're all fun. We do a lot of champagne pops,
Yeah.
where the clients will bring bottles, or I'll bring a bottle, and we shake it, and we do a spray, and you just get raw emotions. There's nothing posed.
Yeah,
It's
those
stuff
are
like
those
that.
are fun. Another one, and
Mhm,
I guess this goes when you say you manipulate. I guess in the editing is the one
mhm.
where I know it's kind of bright. You've got bright pictures, like you made the door is redder and the lime green around the side. It pops like I don't know what kind of
Yeah,
not
it's called it.
cartoon, but yeah.
Sure, sure. We do some color pops. It could be called high definition,
Yeah.
or HDRs is a technical word for it. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and I have them all in my custom albums, and my clients will look through them, and a lot of them will just say, "Hey, I love what you do. Give it all to me,"
Right.
and we do a full preview of the album for the bride and groom, so we just don't print it and surprise them. I do send them a full email with every page laid out, and they
Uh-huh.
they can make a few changes, which is great. And they can comment and say, make this black and white, or I love what you've done, keep it the way it is, which is very common.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
We're
thank you.
we're finding we talk to people about trends all the time, and one of the trends that we're seeing actually, I just finished writing one of these for one of my couples is not they're not doing their vows in public. They're writing their private vows and saying them during their first look. Is that something that you're seeing a lot of? Or
I've noticed that, but they're not doing it for the first look. I've seen them do it 5 or 10 minutes before the ceremony privately.
hmm.
Um, And I'm trying to figure out why, and they're still doing the normal ceremony, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
for their guests, which makes sense. And they don't want the personal one photographed.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
it
Yeah.
is very interesting. And yeah, I gotta look into that and find out why. I mean, I don't know if you ladies know.
no.
My,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
my people say that they just don't. We had when I actually we were interviewing another vendor here, and you know, she said, I when I thought about it, I had things I wanted to say to my partner, and I did not necessarily want to say them in front of 150 people.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
makes sense.
I think the public speaking thing is really it's terrifying for most people.
I agree. I'm used to being in back of the camera, and I totally agree with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of like it because it gives us a finite time frame. Yeah, it's like,
Sure, sure.
okay, we've got three minutes of I do's, and then we're moving on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I never really thought of that perspective. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But in reference to the art factory, it's just such a different place to get married. It's so unique. It's so artistic. And you know what? It's just different. Everybody's so used to the rubber chicken and the chandelier and the carpet, and you got to get out by a certain time. What's great about the art factory, your after parties included, you could literally walk into the door at
Oh.
6 in the morning and leave the next day at 5 or 6 in the morning. They don't kick you out.
Oh, that's nice. So everybody can get dressed there and stuff. Like
Yes,
the
there's a
wedding
bride
party.
suite, which
Right.
are beautiful, groom suite. Absolutely. And we include after parties, which no caterer does. No reception, no space does that. They
Oh,
want you out and in for the next one.
that's great.
Yeah.
I
And they include decor. No, who does that?
Right.
A lot of places you get a blank room. Here you get a beautiful tablescape, beautiful silk flowers to choose from, multiple different looks, and some large, beautiful decor pieces that you can pick out.
Oh, that
It's
makes it so much less stressful, so
oh
much less
yes,
that you
yes,
have to do. That's really great.
one stop shop. That's which is fantastic.
I think it's real important that you offer the complimentary engagement shoot.
Thank you.
You're doing their wedding because, like you said, you document their love story
Yeah.
from start to finish, and no other vendor is with the couple as long or as
That's
close
true.
Correct.
as the photographer.
I
And
agree.
from the start to the finish, and it's got to be a person that they connect with, they feel good around, that loves what they do, and you love what
Yes.
you do,
Passion,
So,
passion, and it shows. Most of the vendors are done with the bride and groom after the wedding, and half our job still is ahead of us.
right.
In producing the album, producing the imagery for the clients, and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real plus. That's a real plus.
Well, I think that the engagement shoots really, from what I've heard from my couples is that they really they get a feeling. You all get a feeling for each other,
Yes.
and you enter into a day that's on a much more strict time frame with
Correct.
an idea towards what is really important to them, which I think
Mhm.
is very helpful for everyone.
Absolutely. And if we run late, I'll pull the bride off to the side nonchalantly, and I'll just say, hey, just so this is what's up with our schedule, and we're good. And this is why I do layer in time.
Hmm.
And we just go with the flow, you know. You
Yeah.
just go with the flow. There's always time to be made up, and if we have to, it's not a big deal.
So David, how's your booking? Do you still have 2024
Yes, of
availability? Are you
course. Yeah,
okay?
yeah. What's very unique at the Art Factory, there's weddings there almost every day.
That's
There's weddings
cool.
on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So,
Right.
people are getting creative. They also realize they could save money by booking during the week.
Hmm.
Right. Right.
And it's like you tell your guests, oh, I have to take off for work. Okay. So
Yeah.
now they have a 4-day weekend or a 5-day weekend.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's true.
you know,
It's it
it's
really does seem to work for the guests. I love a
yeah,
good midweek wedding, right? Don't we all? As
Oh my
wedding
gosh.
planners,
absolutely.
we all love a
It's a
good
great
midweek.
excuse, to party, and there's hotels like 15 minutes away on Route 46, and they
Mhm.
include shuttles. So it's an
Oh,
amazing location.
It's, I was there on a Monday night over the summer.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Monday holiday night. It was like a regular old Monday night, and there were 3 weddings going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
There's 4 rooms. Sure.
not that you would even know, honestly, because they're, the timings are staggered for people to
Yes.
arrive, and you really don't, it's so enormous that you really don't run into anybody else. It's not, like ballroom A, ballroom B.
Yeah, exactly. There
That,
are staggered. Yes.
it's, very much, and there's like so much outside space and so many photo spaces that you really, I was in a space last week that I've been there like dozens of times. I never even knew the space existed. They're like, "Oh, we're on the first floor. We're in that room." That's like, "What?" I was like, it was
It could be the
great.
new room called Epic Prime. Yeah.
That was it. That was
Yes.
it. I
Yes.
just keep like walk down that hall,
Yeah.
follow the candles, and
Right.
bingo,
Right.
you're in a cave. It's like
Right.
great.
And there is a cave in the back,
It
which
is.
is
It was
unbelievable. Yeah.
like unbelievable. It was. It was like Indiana Jones gets married. It was like great.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for something different, there's the Art Factory just, offers so much.
Yeah,
So much.
in
So
New
many great
Jersey.
spaces. Yes, so many great spaces, no matter what the weather. If you
Yes.
have to be
Yeah.
indoors, it's fine. Outdoors is great. I see you know when and where the sun sets,
Oh,
because I
yes.
can see some beautiful photos with
Thank you.
the sunset in the background where the couple
Thank you.
is standing within one of these beautiful, exposed brick inside
Mhm.
and big there.
Mhm.
So yeah, to be like, I can picture you go into the couple, okay, it's time sunsetting. I need you real quick for this
Yes.
photo.
Yeah.
Yes. Or we do an evening shot, we do a night shot, backlit. One of our great signature shots is we take them up in the attic, and they have these big, beautiful open doors that opens,
Mm.
and it just
Uh-huh.
overlooks the courtyard at the Art Factory. And there's plenty of these imagery on my Instagram site, and it's an unbelievable shot. It's from far away, and you just see the bride and groom like a side shot of them looking at each other.
Yeah.
It's a must see. It's just incredible.
What
It's
great,
really-
unique photos
Yes.
for your photo album. Not the same stuff.
Yes, correct.
Just, yeah,
Always something different. The lighting is always different. The rooms are always looking different. It's just very, very unique artistic space.
yeah, these are photos that they don't go out of date,
Thank you.
they are beautiful. I do encourage everyone to check it out. Like I said, I'll have a link on our social media sites.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Visionary_artists. So
Sounds good. David, it was
Yes.
great to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Oh, yes. We'll see you all the time at the Art Factory. Thank you very much.
You have a
Alright.
great day. Thanks
You
a
too.
bunch.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Lovely talking to you, ladies. Bye-bye now.
bye-bye.
Bye.
That was so great to speak with Dave. Name of his company is Visionary Artists. Check out his Instagram, visionary_artists. He's been doing this a long time, and you can really hear his passion for it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's the in-house, I mean, I know he works everywhere, but he's
Mhm.
the in-house photographer at the Art Factory. I think he has his own studio there, or maybe
Yeah.
office there.
Yeah, he does. And, I feel like it's really, I always feel like it's important to have a person who's familiar with your venue, but, especially there, because there are just so many different backdrops that can be used there, not only, on site, but, within a 5-minute trolley ride is the Great Falls, which is a a national park. And in the other direction, there's the Lambert Observatory, which we didn't even have a chance to mention, and
Right.
that's close by too. So there's so many, but really just right on site, there's outside spaces, there's inside spaces, there's like a little waterfall, there's like the catacomb room with the built into the cliffs. It's just it's mind-boggling, and unless you want to spend an entire day taking pictures, it's really useful to have somebody who's familiar with that space, which he
Right.
clearly is.
It is. And I'm going to also mention too that he's their in-house photographer, and you are their in-house officiant. You are there a lot, you and your fellow officiants that work with you at NJ Vows now. I'm located at the shore, so it's quite a drive for me, so it doesn't make sense too much. If needed, I will absolutely go there, but I just send couples that are inquiring with me to
Send it
you.
to me.
You're so close to it and you know it.
Yeah.
I have mine out here that I know. And yeah, I know that they love you there, Celia, as much as they love Dave there too. They've got a good crew there to work with.
It really, and we talked to Susan, the coordinator that works with a lot of their couples. And
SMP, yeah.
I think, part of the reason I think people pick places like that is because they absolutely have their pictures in mind. Obviously, the ceremony space and the party space too, but as he said, what you're going to walk away with, the thing that you have is your license and your pictures.
Mhm.
And the settings are so timeless. It's really hard to describe until you go there and you see them. I think it's a lot of fun for people. And it's definitely, your guest shots, like everything is going to have, there's no boring backdrop there. There just
Right.
isn't. If you've got family shots and, bridal party shots, wedding party shots, there's so many different ways that he can capture that. There's one room, I forgot what he called the engine room, I think he called it. It's literally a cement room with, it looks like it's in a submarine. The whole ceiling is Edison lights and hanging light bulb. It is the coolest. So it's
Like a
just
steampunk
it's
theme,
really, no, absolutely, absolutely.
Uh,
And it's really
yeah.
fun. And and I've worked with him a number of times. He's very fun to work with. They're not, when you look at the pictures, they're posed, but they're not like
No,
contrived.
they're
I mean,
artsy. Yeah.
yeah, and his style is, a lot of it's very color saturated, and which
I
I
like that. Yeah.
really really works. His style, I think, is very, although he does a lot of different styles, I think it's his style is very compatible with the style of the building and the settings.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was great. So I want to thank our listeners for joining us today. And we love to hear from you. If you have any questions or you have a venue you want to hear
Hmm.
about, we can interview that venue,
Yeah.
or we can do one of our venue reviews. Any ceremony questions, just ask us. You can
Yeah.
contact us on our social media pages. Just hit the messages, or our website has a contact form. It's New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We never share your information, only
No.
your question, no spam from us. And we just love to hear from you. If you've already had your wedding in New Jersey and you have one great piece of advice for couples planning, we want to hear what that advice would be. So,
Hmm.
or previous brides or previous grooms, you want to join us for an interview? Let's do it. Contact
Yeah.
us. We want to hear from you. And thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for listening to us. We'll see you soon.
All right. Happy planning.
Yes.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.